Welcome to Oxpoon, the technical magazine with Wolfgang Rudolph. Hello and a very warm welcome. Today is all about, I'll show you with my hands. Sound. I have made a shockwave. A shockwave moves at about 340 meters per second at 20 degrees Celsius in water quicker by 1484 meters per second. In vacuum, when a spaceship flies by, not at all. That's what you see in science fiction films, is fantasy from some authors. You hear nothing, there's no carrying medium there, no air, no water, no metal, or anything like it. And this sound we have to measure. We talk about sound about 40 to 60 dB, the normal talking range. Much louder should your TV not be. Jets up to 130 dB, and this 130 dB by just once being heard causes permanent hearing loss. When we permanently have around us 85 dB, then that can cause permanent hearing loss too. That means we have to measure sound, monitor sound, and that's what the law insists on. And that is good so. Sound we have to talk about because it is loud, quiet, slow, high, deep. We humans hear certain frequencies better as other frequencies, so that we understand each other better, which from time to time works. So I will show it to you now. I have brought an oscilloscope with me and a microphone. Turn up the preamplifier and you can see straight away on the oscilloscope when I talk. We have to turn up the sensitivity and you can see that what I speak is an electrical signal on a screen. That's more optic actually. What is volume? If you watch the curve how it fidgets, it is quiet and then louder. I will reconnect it to my music player. It is easier to see and easier to talk about. So now I have to turn it down again naturally. So now you can see a funny fidgeting. There's singing, music is made, it is louder and then it's quieter, then someone screams, there's a break in the middle. How can I judge that? That means I can only judge this volume when I put it into a time window. And then calculate the average. See, there's a break in between. The next music peak comes, and quietly it starts and is soon much louder. So now every disco owner would say, to keep the laws in, I can take a quiet part. And the next door neighbor says, I will take the louder parts that come. That's the why they have standardized it. We have a tendency to A, that is to our hearing chorus. It used to be A, B, C, D, Z. But nowadays all that is important is A and C for aircraft noise. And that is the curve that our ears are modeled. And then we have the time lapse, an eighth of a second, one time. That is the quick resolution, fast is written behind it, and 1 second, and that is slow. It used to have 35 microseconds, but that's out now. That means you measure this noise A in a certain time lapse B, so that you can compare them with others to say. That is in the allowed area of this norm. And for this we need devices natural which are incorruptible, and they measure in a certain time lapse what happens and how often, and we humans just cannot do this. You need a measuring technique for this and they are nice. Here I have a sound level meter PCE SDL1, a little handy device which is delivered with this stand. And I've already attached it to my computer, also the software is delivered with it. And when we look at the computer you can already see that when I talk it is shown, graphically shown. And I can also record this, such as these curves, and later load them back up. I can zoom in on them, pick out different areas, analyze them, and can naturally, as a table format, the recorded data process. So a little handy device which works in the area of 30 to 130 dB with an exactness of 1.4 dB. It is operated with a tiny battery, 3.6 volt lithium-ion. It can, depend on what sort of intervals are recorded, up to 24 hours high, not just once every 24 hours recording, but last up 1 year. Naturally, I can use it with a computer, without a computer. All I have to do is unplug it and put the protection cover onto it, and then I can mount it anywhere to a wall or so, or stand it somewhere. Also, if I take off the stand, I can hold it in my hand and walk through a machine hall or such. All the data is stored internally, and I can store 129,920 signal values recording. And when I am finished measuring, I can go back to the computer, plug it in, then load the data up, save it, work with it or whatever. So a very small device which is used very flexibly in this area. The PC SDL1 to monitor noise in firms and companies.
Welches sehr flexibel einsetzbar ist, das PCE SDL1 als Gerät zur Überwachung der Lärmsituation in Firmen und Betrieben.
I have here the sound level meter PC322A, a sound level meter which means I can measure volume with it. It is battery operated, a very nice big easy to read LCD display with lots of settings. I can from up to 31.5 to 8 kHz signals measure, record, save and later reevaluate. I can set it to A, which is human hearing, or C, which is aircraft noise.
Einstellen kann ich zur Gewichtung nach A, also menschliche Gehör, oder C, was heute eigentlich nur im Bereich Fluglärm verwendet wird.
The microphone I can take off and use an extension cable to measure somewhere else. And the rest you can see. Up to 30 continuous measurements with the changeable 9 volt battery, and you can see here when I get a little louder, we have a very quick display. 0.5 seconds is the update function.
Wir haben eine sehr schnelle Anzeige, 0,5 Sekunden ist die Aktualisierungsrate.
It saves 260,000 measuring points, which you can read later. That is good. Now I'll show you when I attach it to a computer that the data live and direct to the computer go.
Dann zeige ich Ihnen mal, wenn ich es anschließe an den Rechner, dass es dann auch die Daten direkt und live zum Rechner überträgt.
Just open the lid and there I have the connection point, the USB connection.
USB-Anschluss dran. Und so.
The computer has recognized it, and now we can see on the computer that we have a live display.
Den Rechner noch ein klein wenig wegstellen, damit wir einen Blick darauf haben. Gleich sehen, dass wir eine Live-Anzeige bekommen. Auf der linken Seite ist so das Messgerät.
On the left side is the device with the symbol shown. There I can see the value live, and we also get a curve, and I can see what actually happens now.
Wir haben eine Kurve, die fortgeschrieben wird, und da sehe ich dann, was im Moment aktuell passiert.
I can save all that and later as a spreadsheet work on it, so a device which doesn't leave a wish undone. For me myself it is very good. I know I've an old one, and I'm always astounded how things progress.
Fällt es sehr gut.
The switching from A to C is done over the keyboard.
Die Entwicklung doch weitergegangen ist. Die Umschaltung nach der Gewichtung A oder C wird über die Tastatur gemacht.
I can switch from fast to slow, that is all shown in the display. I also have a bar display next to the numerical display. Time and date is also shown in the display. So yeah, all wish is done. A device which fits into every situation, and a device that can solve all problems in the noise area I want to solve.
Das ist eigentlich ein Gerät, mit dem ich in jeder Situation alle Probleme lösen kann, die ich schalltechnisch lösen möchte.
In many noise-burdened areas, it is necessary to have a built-in device that monitors the noise. That could be in a disco, in a machine hall, by the railway, for the neighbors who complain about traffic noise, or the such. The application is infinite.
Verkehrslärm überhaupt beschweren.
Here I have a sound level meter, the PC SLT, and this device, which you can see, is already working.
T von PCE und dieses Gerät, das Sie sehen, ist schon dabei, fleißig zu arbeiten. Das besteht
It consists of 3 units. One is the display and programming unit,
Einheit,
that is the monitor and the controller.
Controller, dann
Then the so-called transmitter, that is the device that can be fixed in separately from the other unit, and attached to that is this microphone.
ist dieses Mikrofon.
And the microphone itself you can also fit in. You can put a screw through here and fix it to the wall or so.
Schraube, Stativschraube oder irgendetwas dran machen oder an die Wand oder sonst wo. So, das ist erstmal alles.
That is all. I can set the level and so forth, and maybe you can see here there's the LED and the possibility to fine adjust. So the device itself would be built in somewhere. What can you do with it? You can regulate the volume somewhere, and I also have an alarm out. When I have something like that, I will show it to you. When I go here on set, then it says control low, control high, and alarm low. So now alarm low, it says here at 30, but that is not interesting. Alarm high, so that is at 60. So now we go here onto whatever, like 59. So now I'm quiet. And as soon as I say something and we go over the 59, the display blinks. That is the first sight, and also this LED is turned on. And when I am quiet again, and when I speak, it goes on. And onto this alarm I have attached my roundabout lamp. So now I have to be quiet again. And now when I say something, the alarm lights turn on, which is very sensible. When a lot of noise is there and an alarm lights up like this, then you know too much noise could be over a long period of time hazardous to health.
Und Umleuchte eingeschaltet, dann weiß man, zu viel Krach, der könnte auf die Dauer gesundheitsschädlich sein. Wenn man also hier
When you set a level of 85 dB, it would be around the right level, so back off. So now try to set the alarm high,
ich kann aber, weil ich es gerade gesagt habe,
that it doesn't always go off. If I hold the key, it goes quicker.
Wenn ich gedrückt halte, dann geht's auch.
I have lots of other possibilities to set it. I can set the comma after the digit, fine adjust, and so forth. I put it up to 75 dB.
Ist mal auf 75 dB gegangen.
So now I have to be much louder so that it hears me.
Damit mich
Like now I am very loud, as you can see,
sehen Sie,
and now quieter.
jetzt wieder leise.
The operating is very easy, and it is very important device for the health and if we want to keep our hearing.
Wenn wir die Gesundheit, unsere persönliche und die unsere Ohren erhalten wollen.
So here we have all 3 devices built up. Start with this one, that is the PC SDL1, a device without a display but can save a lot of data, which you can later on a computer save, work with or analyze. It is very flexible and thought of as a long time measurer, up to 1 year when you make a daily measurement. The next one, that is the PC322A, with a very big and nice display. Lots of measurements like the device before, at A and C, and of course both can fast and slow. That is always there to value the signal. The stands are delivered with both devices. This device is operated with a 9-volt battery, of course not for permanent recording, it is more for direct recording, direct measuring and direct reading, even though it can do exactly what the other can. And last we have here the sound level meter, PCE SLT.
Messgerät von PCE.
That consists of many parts. First of all, a command unit with the display on it,
Einheit mit der Anzeige da drauf.
then the transmitter which converts the signal from the microphone which is connected.
Mikrofon, welches angeschlossen
It records it on an overface, transfers it to the command unit, and with this it is possible to regulate something, control something. It has two control outs and also an alarm out that it can directly control a siren or a warn lamp. Three devices that are for health consciousness, which the lawmakers like to see. There are limits which have to be kept, and everyone that has to do with such things should have a look at them.
Jeder, der damit befasst ist, jeder, der verpflichtet ist, darauf zu achten, sollte sich sowas doch mal ansehen.